Alright, and we are back for a chance to now we both have internet and have sufficient time for streaming apparently, so it would appear that we are continuing pretty much where we left off about a week ago. So we were supposed to do Pacific Drive next, and we are now actually ready and starting with the fabulous vacation in the Olympic Peninsula, as far as the advertisement at the start of the game notes. Like, unfortunately, it doesn't appear quite as good vacation location as the poster might have you assume, as far as have understood in the game. So indeed a pleasant evening drive. And indeed, greetings, Jax, and always good to see you here. So we are indeed trying to again do pretty much usual schedule as far as time permits. So we'll also publish tomorrow proper schedule for the coming week, and we'll also start to try to use the Twitch feature for schedule. Unsure if that does anything specifically, like overall that it would be better or more noticed or more useful or whatever, like uncertain if it matters outright, but it's of course good idea to do so in any case, so that shall be done. So let's then see about starting the game itself and have a look at how that works out for us. Doing well, thank you. Mostly had a good week and did at least a few things that even intended to. So would say that has been successful in that respect. What about yourself, Jax? Alright, and here we are, so looks very 1960s. Lush forests, hiking trails, scenic drives. Yeah, scenic indeed. So let's start a new game. Would be nice. 1x free soda pop at any big dance. That would be actually nice. Let's go and have some soda. So we have driven 0 miles and it's also interesting, like, no littering campfires, flash photography between hours of 3 to 5 p.m. That's very specific ban of flash photography, would say outright. Like, let's have a ban of flash photography that applies to 2 hours in the afternoon. What will be your problem with flash photography at one period? So we are certainly going to have the campaign. A Pacific Drive through the Olympic Peninsula, the standard Pacific Drive experience. And to think the gameplay preset, we are also going to use the normal one. Do not feel that we need that much easier experience, though it's like, yeah, the fursuiter is not the best player. Oh well. Alright, work at home and something wrong with steering. Yeah, that's possible. Especially if you have too little oil, it usually doesn't work pretty much at all. Here we go. New game. Indeed, yes. So let's see how our car in this game does. Alright, so some experiments. Alright, so we have an address, and they have been also like inventing acronym like duck, deliver, unload, clean, case, question mark. Alright, and here we are in the 90s with some Pacific Drive advertising and at least moderately modern car, like you look at the... Alright, let's then get on driving. So we have a delivery to do next to the barrier wall. Alright, a pleasant drive. Wipers on. It's raining a bit, so... and still even holding the road. Weather is getting certainly much worse. Very hard rainstorm. Alright, headlights on. Tunnel time. emerge from the tunnel and keep going. The road is not in the best condition ever. So we are probably getting closer to the barrier wall. Alright, and the road gets even smaller. Yeah, like a dirt road next to the barrier wall. Yeah, you might have too little oil or like broken power steering pump. Alright, some anomalies with the rocks and all doesn't look very promising. Alright, that looks interesting. Alright, and lost power altogether. That doesn't look promising. Oh, hello there, Tika. Happy Sunday to you also. Let's greet you properly once we most probably just got bashed against the barrier wall by the anomaly, so that looked very promising. Yeah, at least we are like apparently alive. Our car clearly is no longer very mentionable, like we have bits of car. It was clearly very much torn apart by the anomaly. There's one wheel. And here's apparently the delivery where we were supposed to make like our box. Also ended up. Hello there, Ruby. Indeed, yeah. Let's greet all the new joiners also. Our delivery next to the barrier wall did not go very well because the anomaly decided to put us inside the barrier wall, so how about some trouble? So let's greet you all. And also, of course, posture check. By now we have been getting a bit further into the game, and indeed, welcome all, and hopefully you had a good weekend this far. And we apparently have dropped no frames, which is a great start, because there has been some fixing going on with the internet connection here, which has been often non-existent. We have not yet dropped any frames, which is a great start, and have been pushing pretty much a stable for 4M video out, so that also looks very good. Indeed, welcome to the stream, and very nice to see you all here. So let's then continue as it was said in one of the Don Johnson big band songs. There is no compass that can lead us through anomalies and darkness, and that is pretty much what it looks like. Looks like in the game also. Very well. Find transportation. This doesn't look terribly promising like. How about a radioactive green mess? With bits of your car floating around, like really. At least that place looks least harmful because there's some light. Alright, crawl through. At least this looks less anomalous. Right.
Hello? Someone out there? Hello? Could have sworn never mind. Francis, the radar's acting up again. You were supposed to tune up this piece of junk years ago.
Alright, find transportation. Very good. This looks a little bit less anomalous at least. Alright, here's a wheel, so we put it back. Install summer tire. Do wonder if summer tire is fit for anomalies in general, like. Is it the right kind of tire for anomalous weather? Alright. Very good. Wipers on. No, we turn the car on. And now we have a compass. Put the car in drive. Wipers on, lights off. Alright, so we have floor shift. There we go. Alright, and our car is in drive, so at least we are not going that way. This way looks more promising. And apparently someone is talking to us, but they don't have a transmitter. We won't hear a thing back, so. Yeah, like how did you get through the barrier wall? The anomaly put us there, thank you.
You're in serious danger. The instability's closing in, and it's gonna scramble you quicker than beef in a blender. The closest shelter is a few miles east. Get there however you can, and be quick about it.
Alright, and apparently let's put car in park first of all, like preferably not leave the car on neutral and get hit by our own car. Siphon fuel. Alright, we have the very anomalous, very safe looking fuel can, like. Yeah, that looks very safe. And then we have the wreck here, so let's see, can we get some fuel out of this thing? Where's the filler cap? There we go, so let's put it into our fine automobile. There we go, and store the fuel can in the very non-anomalous safe location on the upper left corner of the trunk. Like, looks very convincing. Alright, and we have like some St. Elmo's fire or whatever, so start motor and preferably put in drive and preferably drive out, please. This doesn't look very good.
Whoa, wait, hold the phone. There it is again, that blip on the spectrometer. I've seen that waveform before, but where? No kidding. Could it be? A remnant?
That can't be. There hasn't been one in decades.
Look at that spectral fingerprint and tell me that doesn't match the remnants exactly.
No. What we should be looking at is how fast this creature seems to be moving.
Huh. You know, if I didn't know better, I'd say they're going about the speed of a... No way. No way to not tell me. They found a remnant and it's a car this time? Holy cripes! No one's had working wheels in here for ages.
At least we are out of the anomaly, which is better.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, the breacher needs to get to safety. Then we can look into whether that car is a remnant or not.
In my heart of hearts, I already know. They're back, baby. Shelter, go on and let yourself in. Hoppy ain't gonna like you poking around in there, but better to face the bad side than let the zone eat you alive.
Keep out, alright, that probably isn't shelter either. This looks most like a building this far, right? Office auto shop. Sure. Alright. Door open. Flip the breaker switch wherever is the switch we are supposed to flip. Alright, that's pretty clearly marked. On, off. Pick up backpack from the table.
Who's there? Go to the shop. God, it's been breached. You've got 5 seconds to get the hell out before I... Ow! My head.
Alright, that table.
Emergency broadcast.
Hello, attention. This message is for Dr. Ophelia Turner. We sent a preacher to your garage on official zone business. Now we have it on very good authority that this person is in possession of a
Alright, looks like there are quite a few things here. Alright, certainly like... Right, like I said, super official zone business.
Do not comply. I will occupy this broadcast channel with a recitation of the entire collection of poems I've personally written. That's 10 years and 17 volumes and...
God, that voice goes like a nail gun to the skull. So,
Tend to your wounds at the first aid station. Alright, seems like a fair idea after.
outsiders not understand.
Fix the car.
Build that
Pull the car in.
torpedo wall
Alright,
out
so
there
we need to
for
get the car
unless you were the
in. That's not
unfortunate
our
sort
car,
of zapped.
fortunately.
Wait, I just remembered. I don't give a damn why or how you got here.
How
You're
far did we
trespassing,
leave
and I'm
our
trying
car?
like you to get the hell out of my zone. Unfortunately, the barrier wall is as fortified against breaches trying to get in as it is against anyone or anything trying to leave. We have to find you.
So
a way
our
out. So you might
wheel
as well start fixing that
fell off
car. Just
again,
don't break
apparently.
anything in my shop with those soft
Really.
hands of yours.
This shouldn't be so difficult. Every time I go out into the zone, apparently our wheel falls off. Alright, drive the car into the auto shop. Let's see if we fit through the door, or find the door even. Do you think it's this way? Yep. Alright, let's put the car to neutral and turn off. There we go. So now this looks much more. Fix the car. Craft replacement door. Add to your to-do list. Crude door. Open headset always. Alright, so we have like also our augmented reality headset has additional information. So, alright, we have been doing about half an hour, so about an hour left. Looks very nice also, so let's also do a bit of the fursuit in between and then return to the game and see blueprints. Crude door. Can't we do a better door than a crude one? This very flimsy piece of oxidized metal will both open and close. It will also keep out the wind and the rain. It just barely meets every technical specification required to be a door. Why would we make the worst door ever? Like, yeah, let's make a door. Make it the worst one. Sure. Pin to checklist. Gather items from the abandoned car behind the garage for your checklist. Search the abandoned car's trunk. Alright, sounds like a great idea. Search the toolbox by the garage door for a pry bar. Equip pry bar. Alright. Alright, that looks convincing. And it contains 1 glass shard. Sounds great. Road flare. Road flare. Let's put those into the side pocket. Search the dumpster by the garage door for crucial items. If your crucial items you're unable to craft. Gather items from the abandoned car. Steel door. Friendly dumpster. That seems really friendly. Alright, so this can be apparently used to can be used to grab items, so and then we pick up duct tape. Alright, we apparently can't scrap the fuel tank directly because it contains some fuel. Unlike the trunk. And more duct tape. Also another door to scrap. And how about some fender? And summer tire. Craft a replacement door, so we have clearly produced enough scrap Alright. And we have scrap metal, plastic, duct tape and glass shards. Then we push craft. Install the crude door. Alright. We have... There we go. Door attached, and we have maximum door quality. Get the repair putty from the locker. Alright, sounds like easy fix. Use some plastic padding. Spare tire, first aid kit, chemicals, alright. And we have rubber, it's also a rubber duck. Alright, let's take the repair putty as instructed. Equip repair putty, alright. So we have a bucket of plastic padding. Alright, cheap viewers, you say, already have the best viewers, so let's then see about what we do with the repair putty. Use repair putty to repair the car. Yeah, considering our hood is like 0. So let's put some plastic padding. That looks impressive. Would be good to use also on your average used car, like just put some plastic padding on and you have much better quality. The bumper also could use a bit of we are altogether missing a panel here. Alright, also our driver door is kind of less than stellar. That panel is actually like a 0 quality, there we go. We are even missing some panels, so fix the flat tire. Alright. Scan the flat tire. Flat fix. Sealing kit. Alright, so we need a crafting and using a sealing kit. That would be probably more useful exercise, so sealing kit takes duct tape, rubber and glass shards. Alright, so let's pin that to checklist and see if we can find more rubber. we have more tires to scrap or something. Yes. That should produce some rubber. Most excellent. Now we can craft a tire repair kit and then repair our tire. There we go. And now we use a tire sealing kit. There we go. And suddenly fixed. Or 11 years old tires. That's not safe, not even in Pacific Drive, because rubber hardens. 11 years old tires are no longer rubber to use. These are probably from the 1960s, but that's a different problem when you are dealing with temporal anomalies. Fix mechanics kit, right. Alright, you swing your install cardboard boxes in the trunk. Alright. There we go. Install craft mat in the trunk. Alright, that's a craft mat. So we install this into our trunk. Trunk crafting. Sure. There we go. So we can build something in the trunk. Self-repair capability. Install arc device in the passenger seat. Alright, sounds dangerous. What does arc device do and where do we find one? Alright, that would be the arc device. Alright, looks convincing. We have some kind of like map and a toilet seat combined apparently.
Consider it the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit if you plan on staying alive. That's how important this thing will be to you. Yes, that's my very own invention. I'll tell you more about it if you live long enough to use it.
Get first aid kits from the locker. Let's put chemicals in backpack to be sure of having a nice chemical fire. And we needed to store scrapper, road flare, first aid kit, fuel can. Road flare. Gear blueprint. Impact hammer. Alright, looks like a hammer indeed. Use pump to fill the fuel tank. We do apparently then have a fuel pump somewhere, or... It's like outside, or... Where to find fuel. Alright, would imagine it would be logically next to the car, and it indeed is. Alright, you get gas. Aligning the car with the charging station in the parking bay. This was not supposed to be an electric car. Alright, connected. Throw the switch to charge the battery. Alright, the switch for that is actually here. Looks very safe.
If you're all set, take a look at the projector against the wall.
Select destination using the map on the wall. Route planner. Alright.
All matter has lost the ability to hold a constant physical state. What that means is the shape, size, and makeup of just about everything constantly changes. A mile of grass can turn into 10 miles of swamp in the blink of an eye, and it does. Constantly. It's caused by something we call instability. We're completely surrounded by it, and once you've watched it chew through entire mountain ranges, you'll understand that you don't want to get anywhere near it. We can only survive in here within pockets of stability. That's what you're standing in now. And that's what you're seeing.
Alright,
on the
so
route planner. If we're
stable
going to find
zones.
you a way out of the zone, you'll need to build a new antenna. Until then, you won't be able to detect stabilized routes beyond your immediate area. So, you've got to go hunting for parts, and that means taking a drive. Go on, pick a route. The arc device in your car will then show you where you need to go.
Not very many places to go yet. Unknown. Damp forest. 3 hours.
Off you go. Make a left out of the garage and follow the access road.
Junction conditions. Perpetual stability. That sounds good. One destination planned. Alright. Get in the car. Yes. Our fancy new steel door, and our car has more everything. Like, yeah, we have about 10 million devices more, including the integrated toilet seat or something, and the computer display, and whatever car status display things like, yes, a little bit of extra bits have been added to the car, to say the least. So let's turn the car on, put it into drive, and lights on. And drive out. Get on the road. Yes. Did we even have like... Yeah. We have a nice... pine tree auto repair. Maybe in the 1960s. Are we even going in the right direction? Do you think we were supposed to go in the opposite direction, or... There we go. Warning. High RI levels. Extreme caution advised. Probably we are now on the right road. Alright. There we go. Arrived to the junction apparently. Get crafty.
Okay, newbie. I'll keep this simple.
Into the wilderness. Connect materials for
I
antenna.
need a few things to rebuild the antenna at the garage. First on the list is plasma. The woods are littered with plasma generators. Look for a research trailer or a spark tower. That's those antenna
Look
things
for
zapping you when
research
you get too
trailer or a
close.
spark
Both are
tower.
always
That's
accompanied
those
by
antenna
plasma
things
generators.
zapping you when you get too close. Alright. Looks like we can probably find something interesting ahead, because there's the blue illumination and all.
The ARC device is picking up on some plasma generators nearby. Your headset has a built-in scanner. Use it on the plasma generator and it'll figure out the tools you need.
Alright, so let's exit car and see about the device. That looks useful, so let's scan it.
Looks like it's ripe for the picking. Can't get at it with your hands, though. An impact hammer will do the trick.
Alright, we need to first of all build an impact hammer, so... Alright, and we have only one working headlight to add insult to the injury. Do we even have a left headlight, really? We apparently need also to craft a left headlight. So, like, good car. Blueprint, impact hammer. Pin to checklist. Let's make impact hammer. We already have scrap metal, but we do not have gas cylinder or gear.
So go on and take what you need. Transports, homes, outpost facilities, they've all been abandoned since the zone was decommissioned in '87. Most of those structures won't even be there the next time the instability scrambles the area. So loot to your heart's content. Just loot away.
Look at you, out in the
Looks
zone
like
all
this
on your
will have
own.
all kinds of
Gotta grow up so
scrappable
fast, don't they?
items
Not me,
also.
back at the helm. Been a long time, old gal. Didn't think we'd talk again after that whole Sasquatch incident.
Yes, I was
Alright.
hoping to go another decade without hearing your voice again. What, did you finally talk Francis to death?
Hello to you too, Oppie. And no, I'm still here.
Wrecked car. Indeed. Toolbox, alright.
Hey, driver, I bet you're dying to hear all about the remnants by now.
Can you not? I'm a little busy trying to keep them alive.
I'll keep to the basics, I promise. They deserve to know what they're getting into.
Fine. I'm giving you 60 seconds.
That is not nearly enough time.
Alright, and then we are getting into technical explanation, like I'll give you 60 seconds.
They bind themselves to people, and you're the latest
The
victim.
trailer is
You and
clearly
Jar
bigger
are
on the
inseparable
inside.
now, so get acquainted. Once the remnant is bound to someone, they become gradually more obsessed with it. It takes over the victim's mind until they go crazy and run off into the zone with it. No one has ever been able to resist its siren call. That fixation is probably worming its way into your brain as we speak. This is the first time we've ever got our hands on one. But we know all about the past remnants, and oh gosh, this one time it materialized as an old copper kettle, and the tea that came out of that thing, it was...
And now I'm splitting the transmissions going to your receiver. Anything critical to your immediate needs will broadcast directly and immediately to your radio and headset. Anything not mission critical will be on a low priority frequency. Those transmissions will be recorded and indexed for you to listen to at your leisure.
Can we now make an
My high
impact
priority
hammer
only
in the
just about
trunk?
everything that comes out of Tobias's mouth.
are still missing. Mailbox. No mail apparently. There are quite a few buildings actually. Refrigerator, which contains more scrap, especially canned food. Sure. And more 9-volt batteries. Do you store your 9-volt batteries in the refrigerator? The dresser also contains like even more 9-volt batteries. Would think the batteries would be pretty much finished by now. Alright, more fabric. And even more 9-volt batteries. Apparently our main hobby even is collecting 9-volt batteries. Radiation hazard, and it has some anomalies also to it. Looks great. Anomaly. What if we scan the anomaly? We still need to find more items, so let's check out the next. Next building that promisingly says welcome visitors. That looks very inviting. Let's see what we find here. Apparently that doesn't open by normal means. Let's scan the thing. Locked fixed pry bar. For once we have the right tool. It would be nice to have a flashlight. What's this? Arrow crate. Let's scan it. Supply container. Alright, and supply container contains more duct tape. And broken glass. Really. And 9-volt batteries, which seems to be the most popular item ever. More 9-volt batteries. Alright, we are coming up to 1 hour, 1.25 hours, so we are still trying to find parts for the impact hammer, like what we would like to have a hammer time, but our hammer time is not coming. There we go. And can we find anything else here? Hazmat cabinet. Sounds very safe to open. Sure, let's look in there. What's the worst that can happen?
You've got that handy scrapper. Go on and strip those junk cars for everything they've got.
Toolbox. More 9-volt batteries. Alright, great. Which contains more plastic only. Yeah. Alright, there's a glass beaker. It would be nice if wouldn't have closed the door, because I do not think have a flashlight. It would be nice to actually see. That toolbox we hadn't yet opened, even more scrap. So only stacks of 20 are possible, alright. Would be nice if would actually find out how to open the door again. Alright, so it was actually here. Let's take the scrapper out and also scrap the scrap car. We can also store, like maybe store that. We do not need the repair stuff all the time. Steel sheet, road flare. Scrapper time. Even more duct tape. I don't think you can scrap the wrecked car itself. Nope. Does this have any other parts remaining? No doors, no trunk. Yeah, apparently that has no further items to wreck. There's another wrecked car here, so it has some nice doors. Also, Jax, does your car doors include duct tape? Alright, and we can also scrap the fenders and all. Also another perfectly good door to scrap. And even more duct tape. The fuel tank also has some fuel that we need to remove it. Then we have the house with the radiation hazard that actually does some damage. We already checked the cardboard boxes like. More duct tape. Let's see, are there other buildings if we drive on a bit. I do not really want to go immediately to the house that has the radiation hazard. Is there even any further road? Let's check the map. Yeah, there is. And there are more like houses, gas station and even exit roads, so might be useful to check also other. Alright. 2005. We also have like a station wagon. Station wagon here in Pacific Drive, certainly. Alright, yes. So road continues this way. Let's see, is it even from there? Because not really wanting to first go to the house with the radiation hazard, like really. That looks also really promising. How about we have some kind of dangerous drone? Looks very good thing. So we have more things here, but we probably need impact hammer also for that, so let's check the radiation hazard house first. Like, Havoc is my middle name. I wonder whether we can save the game like directly. Would be very useful, certainly. Suspend and quit. Alright, that does help. That does help that we can kind of like suspend the game and quit, because let's check the radiation hazard house, because we haven't yet checked that. The others we have. Would be nice to have also a flashlight, certainly. Alright, let's... Alright.
Are you finding the materials you need? Might I
So we
recommend
have
some
this
petty theft?
last
Those
house
cars
here
and
that
trailers
has
were
the
all government property, but
radiation
since Florida doesn't
hazard.
exist
Can we
anymore,
like do
they're
something
fair game.
useful with that? It does indeed emit considerable amount of radiation, but how can we even do anything with that? Let's see, like, is it also 2.5k? Then when we go high enough, we are gonna get 0 radiation. It's quite anomalous, so unsure if there is anything to be found there. It at least causes damage quite quickly, so do not think that is really enterable, like, really. We have not found any of the parts that we would have wanted from the houses that we have actually explored, so it's kind of like, yeah. Can we also scrap these? Let's try with the scrapper. Yep. Alright, that worked well. That worked really well. And it produced one piece of scrap metal. It would be nice if we actually broke the scrapper, like. Did that make the game unfinishable? Alright. That was great success. Interesting how we are doing time-wise. Need to check if that actually made the game unfinishable or something as pleasant. Alright, we are also drawing close to the finish of the stream, and kind of thinking that apparently made my game unfinishable because succeeded at suddenly making the scrapper device explode. That looks most excellent. Very good stalker, like smart Skull. Looks like it. Probably we can build more scrappers, but let's guess it requires again materials we do not have. No, we have materials to build more scrappers. So we are not dead in the water. We do not have still items to build impact hammers. We have not found gears or gas cylinders. Clearly it is not from. Clearly it is not in the house with the anomalies, because it looks like, yep, new scrapper. Most excellent. We are not dead in the water as we broke the previous scrapper. Did this car have anything to scrap anymore? It has a bit of fuel, so let's try the very non-anomalous safe fuel can from the top left. that was not our intention. Now we can put the scrapper also in the backpack. Alright, now we can take the fuel can. We were holding the scrapper, so... Every drop of fuel most probably is quite important in the zone, so... There we go. And then we had the other car body. Oh, pat. Thank you for the pats, Ruby. Great to see you here always. Nice burp. And more fuel. Is our fuel can even full? Alright, we have the fortuitous situation that we actually have no problem with fuel. Alright, so that is not a separate item, it's part of the plasma generator. Alright. Burp, indeed. How are we doing time-wise? At least it has been interesting in the zone, and we even thought that we broke the game. We have still dropped no frames, and we are now up to 1.5 hours, so... Right. We have not been raided, and we suddenly have, according to the stats, 14 viewers. How? Then the list actually doesn't show anymore. Into the zone indeed. I'm this one be quite interested how we suddenly have 14 viewers. In any case, it starts to be time to finish soon. At least we are not probably going. Still confused where to find the items that we are currently trying to find, like the gears and the gas cylinder. They are clearly not, at least in the house with the anomalies, most probably. Alright, there's a chest here, which again contains more 9-volt batteries, like our favorite item. Let's hoard 9-volt batteries. Would also say that, considering we do not seem to have a flashlight no matter what, it would be nice to have a bit more gamma. Like how about fursuit brightness? Like let's have 04, 05 brightness, because most probably That improves vision a bit as the Fursuit loses at least a few points of gamma, so it is better to see a bit, like at least hint of what the shelves hold. Like immediately you find more items. Radio. Recommended tool. Scrapper. Consumer electronics. Let's get our scrapper out. Do you think was even smart enough to put it in the backpack? Yes. What, we are smarter than we thought. Alright. Scrapper time. The device provides copper wire, electronics, 9-volt battery, and 2 bits of plastic. Then we have a backpack also here, which is empty. Phone. Alright, let's scan. Recommended tool, scrapper. 9-volt battery, copper wire, plastic. The dresser we already looked into. The refrigerator, can we actually scrap it? Apparently not. So it's just a fancy container. Doesn't look like the shelves hold anything else. Alright, let's visit the other shack. Then again with our newfound minor increase of brightness, because the Fursuit loses like a few points of gamma at least, so let's check out these again. Alright, we actually do have a gas cylinder here. Wow. Chemicals, sure. More chemicals. Pressurized cartridges, sounds dangerous. And immediately we started making finds. Most excellent. Do you think the game now wants us to build the impact hammer? Yes. We still need gears. Can we make gears? Yes, we can make gears. No wonder we found no gears in the nature, because we had to craft those. Now we can craft the impact hammer. Yes. The impact hammer looks very convincing. And now we can use impact hammer on the plasma generator, which sounds like approximately the most dangerous idea ever. How would you like to use a impact hammer on a device that holds live plasma? And let's hit the tank with the impact hammer, like, how about no? But we are also in the zone, so most probably that will be interesting. Scan and recommended tool, impact hammer. Alright, that fortunately was much less dangerous than thought. And we just got plasma, which is not how it works, but fair enough. Smash plasma generators for materials, plasma. Indeed. The impact hammer looks very convincing. Even bigger item. Let's store these into the boxes. Let's also, with our newfound brightness, let's take the scrapper along and visit also the other building again, and do think then we are done with the zone for tonight. So how have others enjoyed? Yeah, Luna most probably played this at one time, yes. How has the chat enjoyed our little sojourn into the zone? Alright, let's see if we can find more items in the less friendly place now that we actually see a bit more. Like, let's increase visibility slightly. Ah, the great. Can we actually do anything else with this? Apparently not. Alright, there were also chemicals and that toolbox we have raided. That's empty. That's empty. Alright, do think that was pretty much what there was to find from that trailer. Alright, there's like a dumpster here. Great, let's check the dumpster. Maybe first scan it, like, does the scanner consider it dangerous or anything? Apparently not, so. And the dumpster contains a lot of stuff. Maximum duct tape. Copper wire. That was useful. Always check the dumpster. Is there dumpster also on this side? No. Alright. Now we can also smash the next plasma generator with the impact hammer, so let's drive over there. Car on and into the drive. Let's drive to the next plasma generator, as we already know of that, down the road. Here. So let's shut down the car and get the impact hammer out. There we go. We have two plasma, and then we do also have the wrecked car here, so scrapper time. We unfortunately can't store the impact hammer in the backpack, so because it's huge. Alright, and the trunk contains even more metal. Yeah, the car looks quite rusted. At least we can repair it. Alright, also really good tire. Gives some materials. No bonnet even. There we go. And then we have another further there. But for tonight, that would be our point to finish. And now we have game saved with exactly 1.5 hours played. So there we go. Into the zone indeed. So let's then see who we will in turn raid and finish for tonight. That was really nice time with you all and the zone, which kind of like, yeah, how about the house with the anomalies? No gas cylinders there, but a lot of damage from the anomalies. Like we even scanned the anomaly, which was interesting. Let's scan the anomaly, yes. Alright, we will certainly return to the Pacific Drive. That was a nice start. So let's close the game and see who we will raid. Who's doing what? We wonder. Let's see. There we go. And Shads is at level 13 hype train, yeah. Let's do like a slightly smaller streamer out of Jot. We haven't raided for a long while. So let's see what Mr. Potat is doing. Alright. And they are clearly even alive. To like the Potat avatar, right? That's probably top tier VTubing altogether. Yep, they are playing. So let's raid them. It's been a while. Oh, thank you, Ruby. No problem at all. It's always really nice to play with all of you. So let's raid out of Jot. It's been a while since we have done Mr. Potat. He's a good artist and a great guy in general. There we go. Thank you all for joining, and we'll publish schedule for the coming week tomorrow. Thank you all and be well.